All right, sounds are off. Sounds are off, reminder. Yeah, just two things to cover today. The Star Citizen news stuff, basically. We have a post about the Day of the Vara, which is Halloween in the Star Citizen universe. And we have a bunch of new skins. This is the image of, what is it, Saber skins? A Polaris skin and Guardian skins. But they give us such a bad look at them. They're super dark. You can barely see them. They're Halloween colors. But I guess because of the metallic properties on all these things, like the black just looks silver and the orange doesn't really pop. I would have loved to see it a different way. They do the usual like pumpkin carving. And then this is the surprise, because they're not doing anything related to Arena Commander like at all this year. They haven't focused on it. It's falling apart by the seams. The more and more you play it, it's really, really bad. So they're doing Kill Collector again this year with the holographic skeletons, which was fun when we did it. And there's more to learn. Hold on. So here's the more to learn on Spectrum. So the rewards are, if you come in the top 3, you get this the first time. If you come in the top 3, you get this the second time, which is just color variants. And if you get top 3 a third time, you get all of the old helmets that we used to have before. Yes. Oh, yes. Just continue to muddy the best event that you have ever done, in my opinion, which is the Vandal Mask event from a long time ago. In case you guys are new here, you had to kill 50 individual players, 50 different players to get the Vandal Mask. And I earned it properly. Why it was not the best event ever was because if you've ever heard of conga lining in Star Citizen, it started with this event. And it was a bunch of space dads lining up. They created discords for this, lined up behind a Aegis Gladius because it had the nose gun at the perfect angle. 50 of them would line up. One of them would get into the Gladius, and they would kill all 50 and get the mask in 2 seconds. So it was like a horrible event unless you didn't cheese it. If you did it properly, you earned a mask in like an incredibly difficult way. And yeah, Detox did that, really? I don't think Detox would do that today. I think he would have done it legitimately today. But yeah, lots of people did it. And believe it or not, like communities were built around it and stuff like that. It was pretty funny. And then there's a writing contest. Here's a better look at the skins. I regularly use the Polaris in the fleets that we run, like when we run the Worm or when we run Hathor, and I would love a cool looking paint, but I'm sorry, a regular looking Polaris with an orange stripe, like a pinstripe, a single pinstripe, I am not going to spend $22 on. I believe that's the price for the really large skins. Then they have like the packs for the green color things. What is the price of these skins? Let's see. Yeah, if the Guardian's 11, yeah, it's 22. Look at it. In the picture, I can't even see any orange. The Guardian's the closest to like looking decent. Right? This was last year's, which I thought were hideous. And then previous years I thought were a lot better with the green, like these. Ghoulish green was the best looking. But they should just do this, but with orange. If they just did this with the orange color, it would be very Halloween. But it looks very bronze. So I would not purchase any of these paints personally, because I don't think they really fit Halloween. Now, if you like black and bronze, go for it, but that's just me. So, all right. that is that. We are going to get all the bone collector stuff later on stream. Let's get to the monthly report. That's the other bit of news that we have. I have not seen any of this up to this point. Not a single bit of info on this. So the AI content team continues to test updates to some landing zone NPCs, looping the QA team to help stress test the setup. And by the way, assume most of this stuff is for CitizenCon demos. That would be my guess. To make stations and cities feel more alive, the team leveraged the med station behavior used during the regen crisis. What they mean by that is the random lore-based conversations that they were having with each other. That, I mean, guys, AI slop sounds more real, right? So lots of work needed there, and it's AI in Star Citizen is the worst experience possible, and it's really bad still. Now shopkeepers will interact more with the people frequenting their store. The team is also looking into an underutilized aspect of landing zone archetypes and are preparing a proposal to make better use of guards. Okay. In addition, the ongoing task for setting up comm-call characters for missions. The dev also started looking at mission providers in general and built a new behavior to support face-to-face interactions in the future. That's kind of big. So the old mission giver thing might become more common. AI features. They updated numerous features, beginning with the AI weapon component, which will now remain in sync with weapon statuses, allowing them to work better in unison. Support was then added for NPCs to systematically target vehicles in combat. They do this already? I lost a ship yesterday on stream at Pyro 4 because the NPC shot it. So this is also something that doesn't exist for us, as far as I'm aware. Improvements were made to the Rocketeer behavior, allowing NPCs to switch between using a rocket launcher and a pistol, depending on the situation. Adjustments to the visuals of various behaviors were made, improving cover usage and fixing multiple asserts. We heard about asserts on Benoit's talk. So AI people were the ones not doing their asserts. But having NPC AIs fire a missile at you is bad. I actually saw that video. PC said he gave an NPC a railgun. It did not go well. Yeah. They use it, right? Like, all of this stuff already works. So I wonder what this is all about. Maybe make it less scuffed. Default behaviors were introduced to the buddy AI, allowing NPCs to follow their leader and stay close proximity. Okay. Ammo looting updates. This will affect holstering and stowing. Like, this is all stuff that I don't know. I don't know how much we'll see it or if it matters. They have been talking about NPCs using like having default loadouts for a railgun and a rocket launcher for a long time, as well as driving vehicles, and we've never seen them do it. AI tech. NPCs using elevators by simplifying the setup for the transit carriage. This has never been seen, as far as I'm aware. I think they've accidentally walked onto trains and stuff before, but I've never seen it work properly. Go back, next paragraph. Formerly mentioned in previous months reports as an upcoming creature. Why? I thought I was done. I guess I wasn't. The new Yormandi, so we know a name for it, now uses different fire modes in its attacks. We're going back to Pyro. Yormandi and fire modes. Okay. That's pretty cool. Issues with perception, giving false positives, were also fixed. Further improvements are currently underway for this and existing creatures. Fire modes? No, like the worm has fire modes, right? Like, so is it a worm-like creature, or is it something else? It's probably not the crab, let's be honest. In addition, new functionality was added for testing first reactions by generating test cell level variants, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, now back to this. More 3D navigation, NPCs flying ships, collision avoidance, voxel grid. They talk about this literally every month, and we never see NPCs flying around stations or anything like that. I would love to see that be a thing, but not yet. Team continue to improve flight path and 3D collision avoidance. The focus is to unify the flow, blah, 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 blah. This is to deal with past generated. This includes the introduction of distinct parallel jobs and how the flight path is constructed. Additionally, hard turns have been introduced alongside allowing ships to get nose on target more quickly. Ooh. That means deadly more quickly. Development was done on AI perception code, with the team fixing issues with knowledge escalation. Direct perception was also introduced, which simulates knowledge at distance. For example, NPCs communicate via comms. This enables systemic reactions to NPCs being killed while talking, even without direct line of sight. Okay. Improvements were made with the way assignments are queued. Updates the AI sequence system. Critical flow for AI agents. I don't really think any of this is worth reading, and it usually just never makes it into the game. Or it's in the game and it just doesn't function. September. More Mission System V2 stuff. They're currently breaking down the work and discussing the best possible path to approach the implementation. They also continue to fix bugs and performance issues and work on features suggested by the designers to improve Starscript. Animation, upcoming creature and boss fight alongside a new mission giver. So we have to assume that's the same thing, right? Facial animation progressed through new performances that were captured in late August. These include characters that will be present in multiple upcoming releases, including a returning air traffic control voice. For the people who think Nyx is coming, you have ground to stand on. Was there a special Grimhex one? Is there? For the people who played this game a long time ago, Levski had a very distinct, the stoner guy, a very distinct ATC guy. So if you think Nyx is coming and coming soon, and that was like your big reveal at CitizenCon, you absolutely have a ground to stand on now. That almost sounds like by the end of the year. That's kind of crazy. Like, am I coping here? I think I am a little bit, but with this, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, that might be me, but it what else would that mean? Right? Like, you have to, if you think that's cope, you have to argue that it is something else. Who is the returning air traffic controller besides the Levski guy? Right? Character art, armors for a new gang, and continued polish on the Yormandi. All right. So we have a name. Ships. Aurora and Aegis Hammerhead are being brought up to the modern standard. Aurora, press through slot 0, final stages. So we'll see this at CitizenCon. Improvements were made to the component bays, bed access, dashboard placement. No! They literally have the best dashboard placement. What are you guys doing? If they changed the dashboards and made them like top and bottom instead of across, I'm going to lose my shit. That is, to me, that's the best dashboard placement. I'll be so mad. Entrance method, VTOL setup, and cargo access. So, yeah, the VTOL is interesting. The VTOL is the little fans for right now. I wonder what they'll do with them. For Hammerhead, focus was on implementing improvements made to the base corridor kit from the recent Idris release, alongside making sure component bays and relays are suitably placed and accessible. Paladin progressed through the Lot 0 phase. What is this? Is this the inside of Anything that we could tell? I don't see. I can't gather anything from this. Final adjustments were made to the quad turret. All right. Downstream teams kicked off their work on the ship too. Miss Call B is now well into the white box phase. Whew. I'm so excited for this ship. This, again, I've talked about this before. That 200 to 350, 400 SCU of cargo is the perfect size. It is not too much like the huge ships that it takes forever to load, and it's not too small that it doesn't feel like you're a cargo hauler. It's the best. Majority of the interior was implemented to a required level, while adjustments are currently being made to the exterior mesh to meet the gate requirements. I mean, this really shouldn't be difficult. It's like, just make the hull A bigger, right? Following last month's work, the Drake Ironclad and Ironclad Assault, plus the updated command module, are approaching their combined white box gate review. That's big as well. Like, these things are starting to move along. We'll definitely see the Ironclad, I think, this year. 4 unannounced vehicles also continue development through September. The first is approaching its Lot 0 review, and the third, a variant of popular recent release. What was a popular recent release? A recent release that people... Oh, the Wolf. I don't think it'll be a Guardians weren't that popular. Yeah, Wolf or Apollo. True. Idris. It's an Idris. Fourth pass gray box. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. North America finalizes RSI Apollo. We could just skip that because we already have it. RSI Perseus also passed early. Lot 0 early in this month. So we're going to see that very soon. We'll see that at CitizenCon. They'll walk us through it for sure and probably sell it to us. The white box phase officially kicked off for the Drake Kraken in the latter half of the month. Last month's pre-production phase led to numerous improvements and adjustments to navigation flow, interactions, and throughout the ship. Okay. I can finally get excited. I can actually get excited. This is a ship that I would melt my entire hangar for store credit for if I could get it. This is the ship I always dreamed of using my org with. Always. Because it's literally a landing. It's like an aircraft carrier, right? It's perfect. And I would literally melt my entire account for it. And the reason I was not excited for it before is because they said pre-production. And they've done pre-production before to show stuff off at CitizenCon. That may still be the case here, but we'll see. Community is easy to ignore. Core gameplay. All right. Very small core gameplay, probably because they're showing a bunch of shit at CitizenCon. As a part of the ongoing medical improvements, the team supported both take and place animations. Oh, on the inside of the ship, probably. Tiered medbed ranges. So none of this stuff we already know. That's old. For engineering, the team continued iterating on playtest feedback and hardening the feature ahead of wider scale testing. The vehicle command module featured continued through its pre-production phase. That's for the Kraken, or for the Ironclad and Caterpillar. So additional debug tooling revealed various issues with the underlying docking system, prompting an effort to fix critical flow issues. Wow, maybe the Starfarer will work. That's crazy. Flight gameplay also progressed through December. AI can now correctly utilize control surfaces in atmosphere. Annunciators are no longer required to be attached to the dashboard to be functional, allowing for more flexibility in cockpit design. The team also prepared for focus testing of the improved flight model. The ongoing inventory rework. This is actually a huge deal, by the way. The idea that Chris, this was 100% a Chris thing, that they finally fought him on and he lost and he gave up, was he wanted everything to be like Wing Commander, where you had these huge dashboards. Annunciators are the little icons that say you're being locked on. you're being targeted, you're being hit, your shields are down. It's the little icons that say that. So that was definitely something that Chris said. Ongoing inventory rework progressed through the implementation of equipment and equipped item slots. Further functionality was added to the paper doll UI and search bar. Team also exposed controls to help define rules for proximity looting. We'll see this at CitizenCon for sure. I'm sure I'll get mad at this section. The economy team began the month exploring how to make players' impact on freelancing commodity trading more impactful and longer lasting. You make it a player-driven economy. You just make a player-driven economy, dude. Like, what the hell? In the process, they adjusted offer and demand at some locations while turning profits to fit the current level of the economy. So keep an eye out for buy and sell prices, because this has been my complaint, is risk versus reward. Doing commodity trading does not make sense versus cargo hauling missions. So they might have tuned up some hauls. So piracy might be back on the menu. Teams then evaluated the data on the drop rates of some rare items and made them more prevalent. Tell you what, 3 worms yesterday, 0 AAA pearls. I maybe the 3rd worm, I don't know, actually, because I left before they finished. The cargo manifest, so 1. All right, yeah, you got 1 on the last worm. Cool. The cargo manifests found in spawn ships were also redesigned, so the value doesn't undermine the intended gameplay for certain missions. Okay, that's worth taking a look at as well. So bounty missions and the cargo on them. What will be there? Mission design, ASD facilities, bounty missions. Mission worked alongside engineering to solve long-standing issues with spawn closets and made more fixes to mission generation systems. You have not fixed spawn closets, by the way. It's still ridiculous. Narrative. They're focused on tasks to close out the rest of the year strongly. Crafting scripts that will add... Oh, they're focused on just crafting scripts. You can't say the word crafting around me, okay? Without me thinking it is crafting. So there's a new Kovalex mission representative. So we're going to have a Kovalex guy talking to us when we're doing cargo missions. Vendors and customers to the game, mission text, and initiatives for next year. So more narrative next year. Online tech. I have no idea what this. Heap and Lavarel. Panic Web App. I have no idea what that is. Nope. None of that stuff makes any sense other than more item recovery and blueprint stuff. R&D. Engine code. VFX, ASD, and Apollo. And then upcoming vehicles. So that was the monthly report, it looks like. Positives? They want to make freelancing commodity trading more impactful. Whether they'll achieve that, I don't think they can with the way the game is. Possibly Nyx. Like, I think that's the top one. I think Nyx might be here by the end of the year, or they're attempting to, by what they're saying here, which is wild. But it definitely could be a thing. I'm trying to think of, like, other stuff that's exciting. I mean, for me, the Miss Call B. We know the name of the new creature, the Yormandi, but... And then maybe NPCs using rocket launchers, but I think that is going to be a behavior that we do not enjoy, and not one that we do. I think that is going to be worse than dealing with turrets. And, yeah. So, interesting. That is the news for this week. Or for today. But, yeah, basically for this week. Everything happened this week. Today, we still don't have an Evo update. It has soul crushed multiple times, but... They said it's worth the wait. Do you believe them? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll update you guys on that when it drops.